Greetings and salutations. Add some sauce, Walker, to your intro playlist. Sometimes when I post these on YouTube, they get copyright infringed, but I don't know who that is, but I'll see what I can do. You said Sauce Walker. You thought I was cool. You thought I was hip. You thought I knew things. I still listen to the come up, J Cole. Okay, I listen to this. I've been listening to the same nigga since I was 15, 16, earlier. How's everyone doing? Is everyone well? Let me just pull up the chat on my phone. Hope everyone is well. So on I think Saturday or maybe Sunday, I had put out a post on. You said, "Damn, you leave a comment." Oh, you can do it now. I asked you guys for your general predictions, thoughts, and ideas about things we should see in the next season of Tower of God, changes that should happen. Let me just read what I said. Hold on. I said, Tower of God family, what things do you want to see in season 4? It could be concepts, fights, abilities, characters, or even writing changes, like better executions of ideas or something. I'd also love to hear any and all predictions for season 4. I'll be reading and giving my thoughts on Monday live on YouTube/Twitch. Be as detailed or as blunt as you wish. So we're about to go through your guys' comments. We're going to talk about it. And then this will be on YouTube straight up today. So yeah, look at this mainstream fan. I also realized I didn't put my camera in the border. I don't know why it bothers me to not see it in the border. It might be some weird like OCD thing. I don't know. But give me uno momento. And then we're going to start. I get this. I don't know. I like my camera to be in this. It feels right. Like it's contained. I'm just leaking out the sides. If you know what I'm saying. Look at this mainstream fan. Yeah, man. I'm a mainstream legend. All I do is listen to mainstream. Watch mainstream. That's all I do. That's cap. But all right. Say hi to YouTube. Let's be on YouTube. Please like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell of dawn so the ghost of the 13-month series doesn't get you and you can stay notified. And let's get into these Tower of God Season 4 ideas, commentary, predictions, changes, things we want to see moving forward. Starting with the first comment. All right. I know, baby. I really hope SIU takes his time with this. He's been doing TOG for so long, it's a miracle he hasn't been burnt out yet. Anyway, I really hope we go back to Wangnan and the gang now that the red light district has been introduced. So, Team Sui and Sour, Wangnan, the prince. Some people think he's like a clone of Zahard or some facsimile of Jihad's soul or something of the sort, the king of the tower. And a lot of us have been waiting to see him in action and what it is he can or can't do and what he will bring to the story. And a lot of us, I remember during the second season of Tower of God, we definitely believed he was going to be a main focal point and the return of the prince more so related to him, though I do think you can in some ways consider Baam to be the prince of the tower if you want to say V was a king of some sort or whatever the case may be, but I feel it. One thing that I really miss are the other regulars, Ran, Anak, and those and gang. Like, I really like to see them. I want that, so I totally feel this. Let me see what the replies say. Nah, you're in denial. SAU is clearly burnt out. Even regulars now can survive Ranker's war zone. That's what you call ultimate plot armor. I feel like I haven't said this in a while. And again, I understand using blanket catch-all terms in like these certain spaces so people just understand what it means. Because you guys know I hate the term plot armor. Because plot armor to me means you think a character was probably in a situation that they got out of when it was very dire. Appreciate the sub, the prime. As Simi would say, you paid your citizen tax. I appreciate you. What was I saying? Oh, the plot armor thing. You think a character was in a situation where like the odds were stacked against them. It was probably impossible to overcome this insurmountable wall and something contrived got them out of it. It could have also been a Deus Ex Machina, and I get that. I'm one of those people I'd rather you explain exactly what you mean So to give you another example, IGN and like certain gaming companies love doing this. It's like the Dark Souls of platformers. Yo, it's the Dark Souls of first person shooters. We know that Dark Souls is a series that's associated with difficulty. I get that. You're saying game hard. Cool. What specifically about this game is challenging and difficult though? Don't just tell me it's the Dark Souls of fighting games. That doesn't tell me anything. You're just telling me it's hard. Explain yourself. I just don't like the term. I just don't. I think it's lazy. Same regulars that got loads of power up. Some of them are bull beforehand. I won't deny the way SOU treats the main gang seems a little unfair to everyone else, but that's just what happens when you throw them on in the center of an arc where family heads are beefing with each others. Fair enough. Fair enough. For Baam as a regular, he is supposed to get stronger because he is an irregular. We can see the power gap between Baam and Zahard was not too much on the Hidden Floor arc, stating by the time Baam reached the 134th floor, he should be somewhere near Zahard or had surpassed him. This is why he is surviving battles against rankers. As for teammates, most of them are there because Baam is there, and it's not like they are winning, but just running away and surviving most of the time. Urek climbed to the 134th floor in 50 years, which is a very short time. Considering this, he must have been beating rankers as a regular. So I don't think Baam surviving against rankers is a big problem. I would argue that you oversimplified his complaint or what he means. It's not to say Baam can't beat a ranker or someone stronger than him. And honestly, it's really the idea that rankers have fallen from grace in comparison to how they were initially portrayed in the first and even for large portions of the second season. We get Baam's an irregular. He's different. He was born outside the tower and came inside the tower. And like I say, he's like Neo in the Matrix. The rules don't apply to him. Yeah, in the tower you might have Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi, LeBron James or Michael Jordan. But Bam's allowed to travel. Bam's allowed to pick the ball up and throw it in the net. There's rules that you have to play by that doesn't apply to him. I do think the fact that rankers have been completely trivialized and they don't seem to be that scary or higher rankers, upper rankers, advanced rankers, whatever term, I think it's a problem. I think that's why he has the blue holes concept. He's allowed to pull these legends from anywhere in the Tower of God series that we don't know about, whether they're new or some ancient, and he can basically attribute them how much power or whatever ability he needs to them. Like that felt like a slight correction to what he did to rankers. Rankers are moving like Celtic Shaq. Don't kill me. That's funny. That's hilarious. Yeah. So all right, let's get to the next comments. What's up, Kyan? I want to see 0 ass pull power-ups. That won't happen, so I just hope we see good writing. Tower God in the start of 2024 was real bad with the rack power-up and Kun dying for the 10th time, but we finished pretty strong, in my opinion. This is a series where power isn't earned, it's given, and what Liroro said about just being lucky to be born with a powerful body or in a powerful family or with powerful abilities and items and people around you to cut your teeth against to get stronger. It's not a blood, sweat, and tears. So ass pull power-ups or power-ups we feel that might be undeserving or a character didn't need to get. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, personally speaking, but I feel you. I respected Yama's training to beat Doom. Even Bam's training with Hajin Sung and Ivankel and whatnot, Hansung Yu, in conjunction with him challenging those dojos before he went on the Hell Train. Like I like stuff like that. Like to me, I really like when they earn it with like training and whatnot, but it is what it is. This is consistent with the series, all things considered, so it's hard for me to get angry at something I believe is genuinely ingrained into the series. The Lopo Bia branch leaders were such a joke. Oof, I feel it. Wonder if they consider V a bullshit power up for Bam. I would. Some people have. I've seen that sentiment echo through the community. I mean, if I want to nail my niche predictions, I would say I want to see rankers ponder how a regular is this strong. I want to see unearned power ups. I want to see plot points being set up to be dropped before finishing. You're being a silly Billy. Why are you being silly? That's funny. But yeah. But yeah. I'm gonna help you. All right, thank you. Hold on, sorry guys, 1 second. I am not good at. I cannot hold a conversation and stream at the same time. But yeah, all right. Man, season 4. I guess I want. I guess I want to see true disparity between where Bam, Rack, and Kun are, and the rest of the regulars. Like, I do not want to see Kun and Rack struggle against a single ranker after they fought against the higher rankers. Enkidu did not speed blitzing and Dorsey will forever be a face palm and a dissatisfaction. SIU needs to draw a line, and a big one, or just straight up redefine the line. Like, find some solution to why the regulars can compete on their level and not be blown up with a wave of their hand. I'd also like to see more family heads, more family bases, and more culture of the tower, great families and natives. I personally also want to see more high in-depth details on the characters learning higher levels in Shinsu techniques, like the stuff we got at the end of Bam getting guidance from V. I also want to see some romance, and not overly emphasized romance, but natural, real, and compelling romance on the side. Something to tie the characters together and give us the good feels. I also want to see some. I also want to see some alluding to Rack's connection to the native one. Also, SIU, please give me the Waryun backstory and make it peak. I also want to see Rack's flashback and Kun's flashback. In fact, starting next season with the Kun and Maria flashback would be a great idea. Since Kun Eduan has already been introduced, we can meet a lot of the Kuns, get a feel for how they operate and the power struggles, and then see how Kun joined the tower. If it's done well, it'll skyrocket Kun's personality. Aguero seems to be not liked by the community, at least in my neck of the woods. But I feel folks in Korea would prefer a Wolhike Sung or FUG main base arc. Both would be dope. I left mine now. To be honest, I got into Hope Man. I remember the last hiatus. Kun's popularity. Sorry. I left mine now. Wow. To be honest, I got no hope, man. I remember the last hiatus. I was so full of hope that SIU was about to revamp the story. When the story resumed, it had a strong start, I'll admit, but I was let down in the end. I want Kurigam to write season 4 of Tower of God. Yeah, popularity. Yeah, I read that wrong. My bad. Okay. Nothing SIU can do at this point will stop the rot that is already set in. With the amount of retcons, retroactive continuity, this series has produced throughout season 3, whether that be Yama, Chang, Chamare, and Dodori, the decay is terminal and only going to get worse. All he can do at this point is make the battle scenes clearer to read and follow by zooming out, because style is the only thing this series has left after all the substance has dried up. Character dialogue has been complete dog shit since season 3, so I have no hope on that front. It's like he forgot how to write characters, how characters actually talk and behave, rather than caricatures running the same gag ad nauseum. I can tell he's phoning it in. It's just so obvious to me. It's clear this is not the same man that wrote season 1 and season 2. The spark of creativity and ingenuity he once had is dead. But after all the surgeries and health issues he has been through, I don't blame him. Let's not kid ourselves and pretend the story can go back to the peaks it once had. I'm trying to discern if I really believe there is absolutely no recourse or no path back to. I don't think how good Tower of God could have been originally. Let's say I thought in season 1 and 2, it could be a 10 or a 9. I don't think we can get there anymore. Is an 8 possible? 7.5, 7.6, is that possible? Like, to me, at this point, I feel like a 7.5 out of 10 is probably the best the series can be if he fixes up. But he has done some irreparable damage, in my opinion. But I don't know if that I'm fully all the way. It's meaningless. It's hopeless. But I do feel it. For real, though, SIU, I need an explanation for Yura's chalice attack and what it did to Endorsi. Unlike her friends, I care to know what is going on. Facts. Aguero is so funny, he might be the most divisive character in Tower of God. Half of them are Kun stans and Baam ex-Kun stans. The other half hate everything about him, especially IU. If TOG would have more romance, I wonder which couples we would even have. I don't know, actually. The romance thing I don't necessarily need unless it's going to be important, but I feel it. Damn, son, I know I can't talk, but I'm still a tiny bit optimistic. Yeah, I feel that. SIU's relying on hype moments to placate the current fan base who keep falling for that ish, and they fall for it every time. It's hopeless if Tiara stays dead. Yep, feel it. Mm-hmm. Sorry, guys. Okay. More focus on Bam's character. Compared to Season 2 and early Season 3, the latter half of Season 3 post-hiatus was really disappointing for Bam's character. I hope SIU makes a good use of V to develop Bam. I would love to see Bam's feelings about FUG explored more. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm really tired. I did not sleep for real. Slept like maybe 2 hours, if even, and I was restless, so sorry, I'm tired. Now that he has some attachments there, but the current situation is him being there against his will again. Bam's main themes are loneliness and freedom, which aren't explored as deeply as I would have liked them to be, despite the marriage arc being the perfect opportunity. It was just touched on at the end. I want to see it explored more thoroughly, and stop hiding stuff Bam knows from the audience. That was really frustrating. The stuff with Gus Stang's book and what Leviathan revealed to Bam. That was a little frustrating. I agree with that. 2. Fights being zoomed out and actually readable. I think making the body language more dynamic would help with that too. The characters look very stiff most of the time. I agree with this. They got that NetherRealms Mortal Kombat stiffness that some people say that they have. I think that it's gotten more fluid with time with Ed Boon, but I get what they mean. I really hope Adora gets fleshed out as a character. It isn't just important for her strength. The Bam ex Adora jokes aside, I really do want to see her motivations and how they clash with Bam's. Calivan was so good for this. I want her to take that place in the story. If Mazino, Urek, if Urek appears again, which he most likely will, I hope he's not treated as a plot device and is actually explored as a character. I do think people do misread Mazino a lot, but I get why people think he's a plot device. I don't think that's a weird take to have, all things considered. He was good in the Floor of Death because of his relationship with Hell Joe, not just because he acted cool. And I hope the way his character is furthered is by V offering to tell him the way out of the tower, but Urek refusing due to the conditions attached to it. I've been dying for someone to tell Urek about Arlene leaving the tower since the Floor of Death, but now that we know V is alive and also left the tower technically, he can do that. And 5, keep the regulars separate from Bam and the rankers. I hope Aguero spends the entire season doing whatever with Maria, Anak, and her team and stays the fuck away from Bam. Well, fair enough. I think 7 out of 10 is possible. Even an 8 out of 10 would be theoretically possible, but incredibly unlikely. I think the 8 is much harder. The 7 to 7.5 I think is definitely possible. I just want high rankers to start calling Bam a B rank regular instead of a C rank regular. I think Urek has always had a hidden agenda. I think he really just be telling people he wants out, which is probably only a part of his goal. Well, what do you think the other part of his agenda or goals or plans are, if you have any ideas? I would, Urek, stay a third party in the conflicts instead of becoming a Bam supporter. SIU will need to have a Kurigam immaculate chapter record going for him to fully turn the story around, like no more stubbing his toe or flat out falling on his face mid to end parts of the arcs. Like like a masterclass season, a generational run for like 2 years or so, you know? Or like a string of like 66 chapters or something of the sort. That would be super, super, super dope. All right. Wants less Tower of Beam, zoomed out fights, and a return to smaller broken up panels. Massive panels of colored fire don't do anything for me. Blood Matter, Lore, and Hansong. A slowdown on Bam eating new power ups and instead focusing on developing the ones he already has. I agree with this. He needs to consolidate the powers he currently owns. Some writing changes for Rachel. I liked her as an antagonist to Bam, but that didn't revolve around whether he could beat her in a fight. But her part in the Sprout storyline ended up feeling pointless. I totally agree that for the first time, Rachel was involved in the arc, and I A, don't know why she was really there, and B, she didn't do anything to shake up anything. Not to shake us emotionally, shake up the tower, nothing. The group, it seemed pointless. We didn't even really get a reaction to V in Bam from her. Predictions. The princess bosses are Zahard's methods of memory storage like Trauma Rain, Leviathan, or Gusting in his books. Bam will get flashbacks from the war now that V is awake. Yeon Yirang will be the next family head featured. She's got a lot of screen time in the Great Warriors and Amizu flashbacks. Okay. I'm not mad at it. I'm here for Mrs. Yeon. He has something to do with the family heads, otherwise he just wouldn't have cared if Trauma Ray was killed by Gus. Fair enough. You don't think maybe because Yuri Yuri sent for Bam, I think. I don't remember. Ain't Pace says, if we don't get a friendly fade between V and Zahar before the real beef, I'd be very disappointed. I do think they're building up that fight, and I do think with the Dory's reintroduction, we'll get a Dory versus what's her face? Wait, what the? Hold on. Yeah, I'm tired. Okay, I can't keep splitting my focus like this. It's not helping. Just comment in chat, please. I love you, but comment in chat. Better writing, things like power scaling that make sense, characters not being out of characters making smart, logical choices, and a story more focused on characters and less on fights, more Wangnan and the other regulars, and hopefully not having to have unrealistic fights against rankers, lol. Less Bam, or at least less Bam fights and random power-ups. Yeah, better writing. Yeah, the power scaling in this series to me doesn't really make sense. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of people disagree with me. I don't know, the ranker thing I've let go for a while, where like rankers are not like a big deal to me anymore. So whether, you know what I mean, like whether you think they should be super strong or not strong, like I think I've made my peace with the whole ranker situation. I expect SIU to really lean on blue holes if he has to like bring someone strong, or maybe the top tiers in a family, a la Dumas, a la Lobodon or something. But at some point, Bam will surpass all of them too. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So I'm just changing the gift to Yuri. Sorry, my voice is going too. I don't know. I need to sleep, bro. I'm so upset. A forward storyline, one where no new plots, lines, mystery, or characters are added that make us venture out only to not have any real benefit or insight to the greater picture. Make the characters themselves feel important and have value and significance toward the cast of characters he's already established. Kind of feels to me you're somewhat saying trim the fat, don't add any unnecessary things to the meal, and then make the interpersonal relationships and the character work of who we already have established permeate more into the story and have more impact and meaning. And if that's what you mean, I absolutely agree with you. It is getting a little frustrating. Some of these characters do just feel like caricatures of what they used to be and whatnot. So I'm here with you. I'm here. I hope SIU utilizes the world building he has better, like giving us 100-year time skip and be clear about an Dorsey and Baam relationship. Is Baam interested or not? It's over 600 chapters. We need more than Baam is Baam. And finally, explaining how the Tower organizations works. The Tower organization works and operate, which you always mention. FUG, RED, Zahard Army, etc. Yeah. I need to know how these organizations work. How do you go up in ranks in the army? How do you get chosen to be a Slayer candidate? Do Slayers get along with each other? Or is it really disorganized? Do they just not know each other? Like, what's going on in FUG? In Fugue? FUG? I don't know. I want season 4 to be a season of multiple point of views. I think we'll get Baam's part of season 4. Has to prove himself to some of the other elders and slayers that may oppose him being there. Heir apparent of FUG. Another point of view would be Kun's group. I want Kun's group to regroup with Team Novik and Team Ship to assemble a faction strong enough to climb the tower. This could be through forming alliances with Pobadal or Lobadan and the remaining Lopabia members like the princesses. Third, we need Wangnan's point of view because I think the talking sword is leading him on a mission to kill his siblings, which could lead us to the red garbage dump where I think Revolution's main base is probably. The other thing I want from season 4 is SIU to have more emphasis on the 13-month series and the Zahard princesses plot. I think it's important because when fully assembled, they form into half of the key of the tower that will unlock the floor beyond the 134th floor. I think SIU can start dropping some more lore about the spirits that are inside the weapons. Who are they? Plus, it seems whoever wields the weapons has the right to be the king of the tower in a crazy way. The spirits of the weapons can choose who to lend their power to. Also, we know that there's a special curse for igniting more than one of the 13-month series. It just seems to me those weapons are meant for irregulars since most of them defy most rules in the tower. I love all of these. These are all really good. More Rand, more Novik, more Isu and whatnot. And getting more explanation on the 13-month series. Is the ghost of the 13-month series some weird fail-safe so nobody could actually ever unlock the next floor? Like, I'm here for it. I want to see Calivan again. I'm never mad at seeing Hunderband's Calivan. I don't mind seeing the rest of the Slayers. I think he should introduce a Slayer or two. Maybe Immort or something. Where is Wangnan? That's a great question, Sunrise Sparkle. That's a great question. One of the worst things SIU has done in Season 3 is replace the main cast with people like Cha, Dongwan, Yama, etc. to not use them to their best abilities. They became mindless fighters. Cha, useless and dead in a few arcs. Dongwan, or make them bums for most of it. Yama. I never felt replacing the regular characters and their stories with these rankers was worth it, and it was just a waste. It felt like a waste of time. I'm with you. Even if they may not be as strong, they were more interesting. And maybe I don't know. Cha I don't like, Don I don't like. Yama has fallen off. But, yeah. I know this is probably a crazy question for anyone else here. What to say? Okay. Yeah, I would like to see some more princesses. But what is the 13-month series? So in Tower of God, there are these 13 weapons that were created that the King of the Tower awards to certain princesses in the tower, depending on their climb. And it's part of the key to unlock the rest of the floors in the tower. The initial climbers basically climb to a point and lock the rest of the tower off. The 13-month series plus these two rings that Wangnan and a character named Karaka have are the key to unlocking them. A character that we like, the gift that you see on screen named Yuri, she once ignited two and got possessed by something called the ghost of the 13-month series. I'll explain it to you better later on. Just ask me. Just ask me later, baby. More Princesses of Zahard lore, an intro to a new family head, and some flashback of Arlene and V would be enough for me for season 4. Simple, man. Though we don't know how long SLU is going to keep season 4, but this should be enough to cover in this season. And after season 4, we can have a deep dive into more of the journey of the 13 Great Warriors, all of them, and what happened in the Floor of Death, and why Enryu appeared and what Arlene did after she disappeared. Something like that is what I personally want to see. Okay. Because you have questions? I feel it. And yeah, time and like months and stuff like that and weeks are not the same in Tower of God. I think their year is shorter than ours, but they have 13 months in it. I think. I want some OP character like Baam, Adori, and super OP character like 10 Great Family or Urek above continent, aka planetary level feats, or they collapsing or destroying max 1 to 3 floors in season 4 or beyond that. Outside of that, I want more TOG lore, specifically V Arlene versus Zahard situation and the Tower ancient history before the Zahard Empire. Workshop Mexes shit. I hope they introduce more Zahard princesses and unknown blue hole high ranker characters. Naya explains TOG lore might be a side hustle. It just might. I have some lore videos where I explain certain things. Have I ever done one for the 13 months? It might be time. I just feel like my channel mostly are people who are well versed in Tower of God, so those videos tend to seem unnecessary to me, but I don't mind doing those types for like the more casuals, if you will. My back is killing me. All right. Ahem. Adori versus N. Oh yeah, we need that. More of Zahard and the family heads. We need that. Winning for Enryu. Need that. Baam and V training arc or something. I don't know how I feel about that. The jury's still on Vam. The V thing. I don't know how I feel about it still. I really don't. So yeah. How will Kun save his boyfriend? He got IU. And he got that magic now. He a spellcaster. He different. Respect Aguero. Manchester City. Any info about Tupuri would be great. Tupuri is like the ultimate enigma. Like, we don't know nothing. Opera, God's Eye. What else? Huh? What else? What else about Tupuri? What do you mean, what else? Well, we know nothing else. Like, it's so fun. We know nothing about that nigga, for real. A ruler conference called by Molek to talk about the two families being destroyed should also involve every active family head as well. A family head dying should not have zero reaction at all. I definitely want to see the ramifications of a family head being beaten and a family being destroyed, and what kind of power struggle or power vacuum that could possibly create. On top of, I feel like the family has to some degree should have like a meeting, whether it's via Wi-Fi, via Pocket or something, discussing this. Like, it seems significant enough that it needs like a reverie. You know what I mean? For the One Piece people. Oh boy. Hanging down. I'm almost there. Oh my God. Okay. Season 4 should have less of the regulars, though I know that's probably not going to happen, but it's something I would like to see. I don't want to see Baam having to continue proving himself to elders of FUG since 1. Shotting a family head should be proof enough. If they can't accept that, then maybe Vam is better off without them. I'd like to see a whole lot more of V. Made no secret of it. V can take over completely for all I care. I'm not mad at that take. We're in serious need of a proper lore dump already. SLU keeps putting it off. We need actual lore now. 4 seasons in and we don't know anything about the MC or his origins. Not really. More Looselek and V. Dynamic duo. Shout to my boy. Loose motherfucking Lek. we should we should have headed season 3 with the reaction to Trauma Ray's death. Yeah, that should be the first thing we really see. I think maybe if you want to go into the Maria and Aguero thing, sure, but I think they should be talking about it. Or does anyone feel bad or sad? Like, how do you guys feel about this? Anak Radanovic, I just missed my homies. I missed the Gangarino too. I feel you. Ran. We need more lightning pills to get popped, bro. I think it'd be nice to get a real exposition on the remaining family heads and their top officers. Additionally, get the makeup of Zahard's army and its order of rank. I think this next season needs to build out many factions so we know what the armies and alliances will look like going into the war that's inevitable to happen. I want to see how the factions work from inside FUG or Zahard Empire. You guys have heard me say this ad nauseum for way more than I probably needed to. Like you know. All right. I'm actually gonna save yours for last. I'll be right back, just because these are shorter. These are all shorter, and I'm actually gonna do a refresh to see if anyone added anything. Give me a second. Uno momento, Morty. Okay. More Macheni. Hey, she had a plan. Hey, yeah. Shout out to Vince. She had a plan, man. Shout out to Macheni. I want to see the outside of the tower. A little flashback from Urek or any other irregular Rachel would be fire as F. More fat asses. Last season was good, so he will at least have to top that. Jesus Christ. More fights that actually end. So conclusions to more fights. This is a crazy comment. More fights that actually end. Fair. He needs to buff other characters around Baam. And I don't know how I feel about V still. I'm with you on V. So you think don't nerf Baam, buff everyone around him so like they don't have to be running around being silly? Okay, fair. SIU needs to focus on consistency. It's a roller coaster week to week. Focus on Team Sweet and Sour too. Team Sweet and Sour. One thing about the war I really hated is that it felt so isolated. This is a war between two families with their family heads leading it. We should have seen the reactions and ramifications of the war around the tower while it was happening, just so we could see how people would have taken it. It's things like this that make the world building seem worse. I'm with you. Hello, what's going on? LOL. Last season was what? Season 3. Sorry, did you? Oh, I thought you said. Send it to me. Okay. Yeah, and more sweet and sour would be good. Would be cool. I'm here for it. I want to see more family heads in the present time. Yeah. I want SIU to answer some goddamn questions he set up since long ago. Tired of all the setting up the setup for the setup. I want to know what happened in the Great Journey. What happened to Arlene and Rachel's backstory. Tired of that incident and that person. Like, could you be talking about that? I do believe he's going to use this. Yo, they love doing that. Oh my goodness. Like, don't tell me you're about to pull that out. Yes, it's time for me to use this. Therefore, the event had taken place. It's mad annoying. It's such an Eastern storytelling device, in my opinion, though. Like, I see it from South Korea, China, and Japan so much. I told myself I'm due for a reread of season 3. I agree. It's deflating, in my opinion. I should reread season 3, but I don't know. One day, people are going to realize that setup from the past doesn't matter because SAU just changes his mind at the start of every arc. Secretly. All right. Baam needs to be fixed. In the previous seasons, I was never confused on who Baam was, what he wanted, and why he did the things he did. In season 3, Baam has been inconsistent in terms of personality, his motivations, and why he made certain decisions. We also haven't seen Baam's inner monologue in a while, and when that's combined with the memories he received from Leviathan and Gustang's book, made him very distant from the readers. Baam and the readers used to be on the same page because we knew what Baam knew. I always say a big reason I thought the start of TOG is is so powerful, even though some people are like it's just an isekai, is that the exposition that Bam receives, as annoying as an exposition dump can be, we don't know anything. So whatever Bam was learning, we were learning too. We were growing and learning with him because neither of us knew anything about the tower. So I actually feel like that's a really good point to make. Just want to echo that. Less time about making Bam less ugly. I wonder if season 4 we're gonna see flashbacks and new family heads or just the same four that act like they don't know. We don't that. Oh my god. Take 2. Action. I wonder if in season 4 we're gonna see in flashbacks new family heads or just the same four that act like the other don't exist. I hope we see more of them. I really do, and act like they exist. Let me see. Because we knew what Bam knew. Bam now has more information than us and is acting on that information, and we're left scratching our heads in confusion. Another aspect of Bam that has been lost is his fear of loneliness. With the Bam dynamic, SLU has a chance to make Bam far more interesting. For starters, we know more than Bam right now. We know V is possessing him, which he doesn't know. Bam is now isolated from his friends, which could lose control of his body at any second, and is surrounded by people like Looselek who are shady, but goated. Bam has always been used by others, but now that continues with V being able to take over Bam's body. I think Bam's current situation is worse than it was in early season 2, because not only is he forced back into FUG's clutches, he now no longer has autonomy over his body. Bam's fear he spoke to the Blue Theresa and Data Violet about the hidden floor has come true. I think Bam will be lonelier than anyone. I think Bam will be lonelier than he has ever been. I feel like I'm starting to see double. Naya, from your opinion, what do you think the major problem is right now with SLU and TOG and how to turn things around? I always find that question so fascinating because what I tell people about stuff like this is I don't perceive myself getting into the holes that SLU found himself in. I would have taken the story in a much different direction. But if you're asking me, he's not consistent. He drops a lot of ideas and plot points that he's set up, and I just feel like he should just not bother if he's not going to go all the way through with it. He sets up a lot to not have it pay off or just forget about it completely. I think the fighting has gotten worse, and this is a series where might makes right. So the combat is important, power scaling is important. It needs to make more sense, again, be more consistent. And he needs to zoom out and portray the fights like how we used to in the beginning of season 3 and season 1 and season 2. Because one thing he was always very good at is showing the destructive scale of certain attacks and how people are like fighting. I'm thinking like Karaka versus Yuri in the Name Hunt Station. The damage they were doing under that bridge was devastating. You know, they were really throwing hands. You know what I'm saying? I just think a lot of the decisions he's made has made it difficult for him to get out of the pit he's fallen into. And I think that if he had steered his ship differently, it wouldn't be at risk of not being buoyant. That's kind of like the best I can really say. I think he has too many characters, doesn't know how to handle them, and should go back to basics and reset a little bit. That's kind of my general thoughts, but yeah. Okay. Rachel, while not ruined in season 3, was a massive disappointment. All she did was wake Enkidu up, which anyone could have done. We also didn't get her reaction to V. SCU said that Rachel is the main female protagonist of the series, but she hasn't felt like that in years. The fact that Rachel didn't anger me or even intrigue me this season is a big letdown, and I hope SLU gives her something to do in season 4. The Rachel thing let me down too. Focus on regulars, go back to basics, and slowly build up the insane power levels. I'd like Anak to be our point of view with the Maria conflict, and the rumored Princesses of Zahard arc. Bring back Kunrak I'd also like to see Aguero's backstory with Maria. We know more about the family head's past than we do about Aguero's past. One of the main characters. Hold on. That's funny. I will answer all of these properly in a second. Just let me get through this because I think I need an Advil. Okay, let's keep going. Everything you've said so far, I absolutely agree with. Like, I like a slow power creep. I do. I'm okay with the slow Ivy drip of like, oh, first you couldn't break a rock. Now you couldn't break metal. Now you can punch a building. Now you can punch a city. Now an island. Like, it's okay to grow incrementally. I think the time has come for a full explanation of what really transpired between Arlene, V, and Zahard. What was their relationship like when they were climbing? What happened that day which broke apart the 13 bums? In chapter 619, Han asked Looseleg how has Arlene been since that day. In the webtoon Fast Pass for 648, V said that he'll avenge the wrongdoings done to Arlene. We should get flashbacks to the night Arlene's child was killed and fully learn what their plan is. I'd also like to learn what happened to Arlene. Could Baam only be brought back to life by sacrificing her own? In addition to that, I don't think V sees Baam as a person, but just a tool for him to carry out his revenge. It does seem like that. It does. 1 second, y'all. Hold on, sorry. Okay. Let's keep going. N will be unsealed during or after the Princess arc and will get N versus Adori. I'm Team N. This is my most anticipated fight of the series. Same. The number 7s, the Seal Princess versus the Hitman Adori. I need it. Take the drugs. Don't try to be a gangster. Stop thugging out your headaches. I feel that. I'm still running Zoro to cut Diamond. I feel that. Yeah. Okay. Simply, I want better consistency from SIU. The post-Nest content was much better in comparison to what came before it. However, outside the hotel arc, is where the quality of the chapters fluctuated. The lot had a lot of ups and downs, and same with the Sprout. You described it as like a roller coaster, which is accurate. Not every chapter needs to be a 9 or 10, but there can't be a string of multiple bad chapters back to back. If at all possible, I'd like the writing quality to return to season 2 before the last station. Well said. SIU needs to panel the fights better. The fights during the hotel arc were great. I was able to tell what was going on. Once we left the hotel, the visual clutter came back. Also, more interesting ideas aside from beams would be nice. Well said. Can I pin this? I want to pin this one. Could I refresh to see if anyone else in the meantime has commented? If not, I'll ask you guys in chat if you have any predictions. I won't say premonitions, but prognostications, things you want to see, things you think should or need to be changed in the series, and then I'll give you a few of mine, and then because it's importante. As for things I just want to see in general, just like wishful thinking, more Mew love. Want to go to the Snow Tree of Arlene where Mew love has a big role and maybe gets another fight. That would be cool. I would like Mew love and Baam to meet each other again and see how that goes. Maybe a Gus and Mew love, and just, that's my guy. So I want to see more of him. Adora versus N I need. I absolutely need that. And I really want to see Loose do more things as a leader. You just want a Mew love arc? Put it in the spin-off. Put it in the side story. We need did that. You know, Bam was ripping up. Yo, run my guy Meal Love his royalties for Blue Ore. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Bam was out here word for word, bar for bar, surfing like he Meal Love. Give my boy his credit. General predictions. I do think the Maria flashback. I do think we'll get more of the 13 Great Warrior stuff. And then I do think Anna's getting freed in season 4. And I think Adori versus Anna is actually going to happen. The predictions for Bam and V are very hard for me to predict because I don't know what I don't even know that I like the idea. Even if it's one of those things where like I could see it be well executed and dying out and still being like I didn't personally care for that. You know what I mean? But I'm not a body snatching merchant. Like people who steal bodies, your guineas and whatnot, they don't move me to that degree. So yeah. I hope both N and Adori don't F with Bam romantically. I find it weird that people want attractive female characters that's introduced to be in love with Bam. Yeah, Bam's got enough, man. Leave him alone, man. Bam not even raw, man. Bam kind of ugly, but not canonically. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, consistency of the writing, man. It's 2 week consistent week to week. It's a dice roll. I can get back to back 16, 16, 16, 16, 4, 2, 4, 1, 20. It's just mad annoying. I'd rather consistent 7s at this point than the up and down roller coaster of swoop-de-whoop, swirl, diagonal, final destination. Their screws coming loose. I fly off and land back on a new track. Like just... And trim the fat. I've said this about SIU. Monkey paw is going to curl. It's going to be consistently ass. Consistent 3s. You hate to see it. But I don't know if you have any news on the spinoff. I'll see what I can do. I'm still working on editing the footage for the season 3 review. My best guess is it'll be out by next Tuesday. I think by next Tuesday it'll be done. I think if everything goes well, it should be at least up on Patreon for early access by the weekend. Tomorrow. Oh, sorry. So yeah. But yeah, man. Thank you guys for commenting. I do appreciate that. Just want to say a few things real quick. So on this channel, my other channel, I did drop a Fog Hill of 5 Elements video talking about the first and second season, Pinnacle of Hands. I think I'm going to watch this on stream with you guys. We're going to watch the first season of Fog Hill tomorrow maybe. I'm thinking it's a good idea. I kind of want to watch it. Watch some ungodly hands. But if you want an idea of what you might be getting yourself into, take a gander at this video. It's not long. It's only 10 minutes. And my fault, the crocodile video, it'll be out as soon as it's done. I'm just gonna drop it when it's done. It might not even be Friday, but it'll be done as soon as it's done. Ungodly hands. I watched Danhua. You such a fraud, lizard. I am from China. That's my country. We be having the animation gas and Tower of God anime. Just stop it. There's still some people who want me to watch it continue or give my opinion on it. I don't like it. It's not good. I have no interest. It doesn't move me. It's got no aura. They're not moving like Piccolo. Yes, Piccolo, we see the fit. He not. It's not lit. The aura farming in the anime is terrible. Naya just getting distracted by all the crocodile fan art. I won't lie to you. I definitely reread Alabasta. Doing that. I just ended up rereading Alabasta when I was looking for panels. It's so funny how that happens to me, but it is what it is. But thank you guys for rocking with me for Tower of God. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be watching some Danhua, some Chinese animation. And yeah, so that was my fault. I was being a needy bae and made him come over and then he left his laptop charger at mine. That was my fault though. The crocodile. I should not have forgotten the charger though. That's still my fault. Another thing to add, I would like to know what Bam has learned from the book and Leviathan still. What information does he have that we don't? I feel it. We need all of it. All I ask is you guys do me a favor. As soon as the stream is done, I'm going to download the video
chop out the beginning part, add the Patreon part to the end. If you guys can just drop a like, just so I can get the view and whatnot and a comment for the algorithm, I would greatly appreciate it. I really, really want to hit 10K. We're so close to 6K right now, which means we just need 4,000. And I will get those streams popping for y'all. So just give me some time to reacclimate. Y'all be safe. Goodbye.
Happy New Year. It is January 2025. Shout out to the Patreon gang. Shout out to the CBLs. That is the certified Baam lovers. But could the next year, the Priests of Fire, be the real CBLs? That's brilliant gang till I die. And a huge, humongous shout out to the tier 3s, the 5th Sen Gods. Shout out to Johnny Rogers, Catan, Lucky Roo, Muzaka, Revenant, Scobe, Simi, Wolf General, Zyler Scotty, Big Abdel, Agrono Vitera, Childish Nujabis, Gray, and Huey. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you.